Hey guys, tonight we're about to visit an old, spooky orphanage. Imagine a huge, lonely building, all gray and quiet, surrounded by dark trees that seem to stretch forever into the night sky. The wind whispers through the branches, and every so often I hear a faint creak or a rustle. The old orphanage looks like it's been there forever. Its windows shattered or covered in dirty glass, the paint peeling off like old, dead skin. It's the kind of place that makes your stomach feel a little funny. Like when you're about to do something you know you shouldn't do, but you're curious anyway. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your location and local time in the comments below. Let's see how far this reaches. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Tonight, I'm inside that orphanage, but I don't feel safe at all. No, I feel like I shouldn't be here, like this place is hiding secrets that are better left unseen. It's so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat or the faint ticking of an old clock somewhere in the shadows. The air smells musty, like old books and forgotten memories, and every step I take echoes down the long, empty halls. My shoes squeak just a little, and I wonder, do you think the walls are listening? Do you think they remember the children who used to live here? Do they remember all the laughter, or was it already just a dark, hollow echo long ago? The orphanage was abandoned many years ago, or so I was told. But tonight, it feels like someone is still living inside, like the place has come alive with whispers and shadows. As I walk the main hallway, I see broken furniture, torn toys, and faded pictures hanging crookedly on the peeling walls. Somewhere in the distance, a clock ticks slowly, so slowly that it seems like it's telling time to a different world. The windows are dark, the sky outside heavy with clouds, and rain softly taps against the glass like tiny fingers trying to get in. The rain sounds gentle, calming almost, but tonight it feels more like 1,000 tiny drummers pounding out a secret rhythm just for us. I look around the empty rooms, feeling a strange chill in my bones. The air is cold enough to make me shiver, though it's not exactly cold today. The silence is thick, almost like a heavy blanket pressed over everything. I wonder if the kids who used to live here felt this way, thoughtful and scared, but too young to understand why. Did they listen to the rain and wonder what was out there? Did they hear the whispers too? Or maybe they heard something else, something no one ever understood. Suddenly, I realize it's not just silence. There's a tiny hum beneath it, like a soft singing carried on the wind. I stop and listen. Can you hear it? Just a faint, almost musical whisper, almost like a lullaby, but with a strange, cold edge. It makes my skin crawl just a little. I tell myself I'm imagining it, but deep inside, I know I am not. This place has stories, bad stories. Stories that sleep quietly beneath the layers of dust and darkness. I walk further into the orphanage, past the old, broken staircase that groans as I step on the loose wooden boards. Every creak sounds like a warning, a message from long ago whispering that I shouldn't be here. But I'm too curious, because I already know that some places are better left alone, yet we still want to peek inside them anyway. That's what makes them scary. That's what makes us wonder, what is hiding in the dark? Behind me, I hear a faint noise, maybe a door closing somewhere. Or was it the wind? Or maybe the house itself is breathing, waiting for me to fall asleep so it can come alive. Sometimes I wonder what makes an old building so spooky. If it's just the way it looks, or if it's the memories that cling to its walls, like spiders trapping stories in a web. Maybe, just maybe, the orphanage is full of stories of children who once played here, laughed here, and then disappeared. I gaze up at the high ceiling, where a flickering light bulb hangs by a wire. It sways slightly, like it's trying to tell me a secret, flickering on and off slowly. Shadows dance along the walls, long and strange, twisting into pictures no one would recognize anymore. The shadows seem alive, moving, stretching, waiting. Waiting for what? For who? I feel my stomach tighten a little, but I tell myself to be brave. It's just old and tired, just a house. And yet, I keep feeling that something in this place is watching. Not just staring, but really watching. Waiting quietly for the right moment. I think about the children who might have lived here long ago. Did they feel this way? Did they hear the whispers carried on the rain? The soft voices telling stories only the dark understands? Or were they too young, too busy playing or sleeping, to notice the shadows creeping around? As I stand in the middle of the hallway, I notice something strange. There's a chilling breeze coming from nowhere, cold enough to make my skin stand up. It brushes past my face and I shiver. It's like the house is breathing, and right now, it's whispering to me, whispering secrets about what happened long ago. Secrets I won't understand, not really, but I can feel them. Ghostly stories that refuse to die. Just then, I glance toward the stairway. It's dark and steep, leading up to rooms that I know no child should go near at night. The stairs look so old, with broken steps and a railing that's barely hanging on. Every step I imagine someone taking makes a tiny thud, echoing in the emptiness. I think maybe I should turn back, but my head is full of questions. What's waiting upstairs? Do the shadows hide something more? Do the whispers come from there? I don't want to find out, but a part of me can't help but peek just a little. The wind outside howls again, louder this time, making the windows rattle. The rain begins to pour harder, drumming against the glass as if trying to drown out the night's secrets. But inside, I feel like the house is listening, like the darkness itself is waiting patiently, silent but full of stories. Maybe, just maybe, this is the night when everything will come alive. Maybe tonight, the silence will break. And as I stand there, feeling a mix of fear and fascination, I realize I don't want to stay, yet I somehow can't move. I want to know what's hidden in the darkness, what whispers in the rain, and why the old orphanage feels so alive, so much more alive than it ever did when children played here. I know one thing for sure. This night is going to change everything. Whether I scream or crawl away, it's the silence of this place that's the loudest of all. And I wonder, will I ever leave? Or will I be part of its stories forever? Rain begins to fall. It starts as a soft drizzle, so faint I almost think I imagined it. Just a tiny tap-tap on the old, crooked windows. But soon, the drizzle turns into a gentle shower, the kind that makes everything sound a little fuzzy, like a soft blanket wrapped around your ears. I listen to the rain, and it's like the house itself is breathing in the dampness, breathing out a whisper of water and wind. The sky outside darkens, turning from a dull gray to an almost black shade. The clouds roll in thick and heavy, like a giant's blanket thrown carelessly over the night. The wind picks up, and the trees outside shake and sway, their bare branches rattling against each other and the windows. Every gust sounds like a whisper, like the house is trying to tell me something I can't quite catch. Inside, the sound of rain is cozy and creepy all at once. It's the kind of sound that makes you want to curl up and close your eyes, but also makes your heart beat a little faster. I stand near a broken window, peering out into the storm. The rain falls so hard now that the world outside is just another blurry shadow. Nothing clear, nothing sharp. Just a mass of dark shapes, slowly blending into the night. I wonder if the children ever looked out these windows and felt scared, too. The rain makes the old roof drip in a slow, uneven rhythm at first. Drip, drip, then it picks up, patter, pitter, patter, like a million tiny drums playing a lullaby for the dark. Every drop echoes inside my head, filling the silence with a weird, rhythmic noise. It's soothing, but it also feels threatening, like the rain is whispering, telling secrets about what happened here so many years ago. I walk to the orphanage, feeling the cold, damp air hug me tight. My shoes squeak softly on the wet wooden floor. As I move from room to room, the walls seem to hum quietly, soaked with memories and shadows. I notice the flickering light bulb above, swinging slightly with each gust of wind. When it flickers out, everything is thrown into sudden darkness. But the rain continues outside, relentless, steady, like a heartbeat. Through the big doorways, I see flashes of light behind the curtains, perhaps lightning, illuminating the dark corners for just a second before plunging everything back into shadows. The flashes remind me of distant fireworks, but I know better. They're not fireworks. They're the angry, flashing bolts of storm, crashing and tearing at the sky. I think about the children who once lived here. Did they like the rain? Did they hide from it, or watch it fall, and wonder why it sounded so loud? When I listen closely, I think I can hear faint giggles, distant and faint, like echoes from another time. But maybe that's just my mind playing tricks, trying to make sense of this strange, dark place. Suddenly, I feel a cold wave rush over me, like the rain's icy fingers reaching to the cracks in the walls, trying to grab me. I shiver and hug myself, feeling tiny and helpless. The storm's roar gets louder, a thunderclap so big it shakes the very walls. The windows shake, and the rain hits them like a million tiny fists. Outside, the wind howls with a ghostly moan, and I can swear the trees are whispering secrets to each other. Inside the orphanage, everything is wet and cold. The air smells like wet stone, old wood, and something else, a scent I can't quite place. It's a little like flowers, but also a little rotten. And somewhere far away, underneath it all, I think I hear a faint crying sound, like a child lost in the storm. I pause and listen. Is that real? Or just my imagination filling the silence with ghosts? The storm intensifies, and the lightning lights up the house in stark white. I see hanging cobwebs shimmering and the dust floating in the air like tiny stars caught in the glow. The shadows lengthen as the light flickers. Part of me wants to run, to hide somewhere safe. But part of me knows I have to see what's next. The rain makes it hard to hear anything clearly now, but I can feel the house vibrating with the thunder and rain's deep, drumming song. It's as if the whole place is joining in a nighttime symphony, a lullaby made of water, wind, and shadows. The storm presses down on everything, on the windows, the roof, the walls, on me, and I wonder, is this what keeps the dark alive? Do storms like this help the shadows hide, or do they wake them up? I walk closer to the center of the orphanage, where the biggest window is. Outside, the rain is a thick curtain, concealing what is beyond. I imagine the storm is hiding something waiting to come out when the rain stops. But it won't stop tonight. No. Tonight the rain keeps falling, louder and louder like the sky itself is crying. In this moment, I feel so tiny, a tiny spark in a dark, wet world. But I also feel brave in some strange way, like I'm part of the storm now, caught in its wild, endless dance. I think about how rain can wash away dirt, but it can't wash away secrets. No, those secrets stay buried somewhere deep, a place only the shadows know about. As the water pounds the roof and walls, I try to listen past the noise. I want to hear what the house wants to tell me. Do you think it's really crying? Or is it just rain? I'm not sure anymore. But I know one thing. This storm is not so different from the darkness inside. Both are loud, both are endless, and both hide things that are best left unseen. I stand there a while longer, watching the storm swallow the orphanage whole. Each flash of lightning reveals more dark corners, more forgotten secrets. The rain keeps pouring relentless, because it's as if the sky itself can't let go. Maybe that's why the house feels so alive tonight, because the rain makes everything heavy with stories, and every story needs to be heard. In the quiet moments between thunder, I hear my own breath and the soft, steady drip of rain echoing somewhere deep within the house. The storm is like a lullaby that will never end, singing us to sleep in a curtain of water and whispering wind. And as I stand there, trembling a little, I realize I don't want to be anywhere else. Not tonight. Here, in the rain's dark embrace, strange things happen. Things that might scare me, but also make me want to know more. Because somehow, I know that this storm, this rain, is more than just water falling from the sky. It's a magic, dark and deep, that keeps the secrets of the old orphanage alive. And I am right in the middle of it, listening, waiting, wondering what's next. After the storm starts to settle just a little, I pause and listen. The rain still taps outside, but it's quieter now, almost like a gentle hush. The house feels calmer, but I know in my heart that the darkness isn't sleeping. No, it's just waiting for the right moment to come alive again. And I can feel inside me, like a tiny voice whispering softly that something is about to happen. The shadows in the room seem to stretch and grow, creeping along the cracked walls and old furniture. The flickering light bulb above flicks more slowly now, almost like it's blinking just to remind me that it's still awake, still alive. Every shadow looks like it's hiding a secret, a story that isn't meant for me to hear. But I listen anyway, because sometimes if you listen close enough, you can catch a tiny whisper, just a faint sound, like a voice floating in the dark. It's so soft at first, so faint that I think I might be imagining it. But then I hear it again more clearly this time. A whisper, a tiny voice that seemed to come from nowhere, from everywhere, and maybe even from inside me. It's like the house is talking, telling stories of long ago about children who played and cried and disappeared in the night. These whispers are like gentle breezes caught in a web, trying to tell me what I need to know. Come closer, the whispers seem to say, their words soft and delicate. Come closer and listen. I try to focus. I try to understand. But the whispers are so faint, so fragile, that they slip away the moment I think I've caught them, like the smoke when you try to hold in your hand. Gone before you even know it was really there. I stand still in the dark, feeling my heartbeat slow down, my ears strain to catch every tiny sound. The whispers swirl around me like mist, so thin, so delicate, impossible to see but impossible not to feel. Do you think the children who once lived here heard these whispers? Do they hear them now? Or are they just echoes of the past, lingering in the house like dust on forgotten shelves? Suddenly, I sense something different, something heavier, a new whisper, not just a quiet murmur, but a voice that feels like it's singing softly, just out of reach. It's like a lullaby, but with a strange, cold edge. It makes my skin prick and my stomach tighten. Stay with us, it says. Or maybe it's just my mind trying to scare me. But I feel it. I really do. It's like the house has invited me to listen, to stay longer, to become part of its dark stories. Every corner, every shadow, seems to hide a secret, and I want to know what they are, what stories lie beneath the whispering darkness. The house creaks again, this time more loudly, as if it's coughing or trying to speak. The shadows flicker and dance, winding around the room, telling silent stories. I see the corners of the room filled with dark, twisting shapes. They look like faces, child faces perhaps, smiling or crying, frozen in time. I realize I'm not alone. I am surrounded by whispers and shadows, all trying to tell me something I shouldn't quite understand. Is it the house that is speaking, or is it the shadows that are alive? Maybe the darkness has ghostly voices sleeping inside, waiting for night to fall so they can wake up. And tonight, the whispers seem more urgent. They come closer, clearer, as if they're calling my name. I look around, trying to see beyond the shadows, beyond the whispers. Where do they come from? Are they inside the house or outside in the rain? Maybe they are from the children who used to live here, or from the spirits that never left. I wonder, do they want to listen? Or are they just reminding me that I am not alone in this dark, quiet place? The whispers grow louder, softly, almost like a lullaby that's trying to lull me into sleep, but with something strange and cold. The voices seem to come from all around, swirling in the air like leaves caught in a breeze. I walk slowly, feeling the cold seep through my clothes. I want to run, but I also want to stay, to find out what they're saying. Stay with us. The whispers murmur again, lower this time, almost like a secret meant only for me. I feel my body freeze, my mind racing. I want to tell myself it's just the house settling, just the wind, just the rain, but I know better. Something here is alive, alive in a way I can't see. Something that wants me to hear what it's saying. The shadows seem to shift, forming faint shapes, smiling faces, crying faces, faces that look desperate or happy, all frozen in a moment long past. I stare into the corners of the room, trying to see what they are. Do you think the children's spirits are still here? Do they still whisper in the darkness, try and tell us their stories? Or are the shadows just tricks of the mind, tricks made by the darkness itself? Then I hear it, a deep, gentle whisper, almost like a lullaby. It says, "Stay here, stay forever." I pause. My breath catches. My heart pounds. Is this a warning or a promise? The whisper reminds me that some stories never end. They just sleep for a while, waiting for night to return. And so I stand there in the middle of the dark, listening to the whispers that dance and swirl like miniature storms. The house is alive with secrets I can't see but can almost feel. The shadows whisper and stretch, softly calling me into their world. I want to step closer, but part of me is afraid that if I do, I might never find my way back out. All around me, the darkness whispers gently, as if telling me to stay, to be part of their secret forever. And even though I know I should turn away, I can't help but listen, wanting to understand what the shadows have to say. Because in this house, in the dark, sometimes the quietest whispers are the loudest stories. And I realize one thing is true. Tonight, the darkness isn't just hiding shadows. It's alive and it's talking, and it's waiting for someone brave enough to listen. Maybe that's why the whispers are so soft, so gentle, because they want you to come closer, just a little, just enough to hear their story. And I wonder, will I be brave enough to listen, or will I run? My pulse racing, my heart pounding so loud, I can't even hear the whispers anymore. The quiet of the orphanage is suddenly broken by a strange, chilling silence. The kind of silence you notice because it's so different from the usual. So still, so unnatural. I stand still in the dim light, listening. The whispers are gone. The shadows seem to hold their breath. Everything feels frozen, like time itself has paused just for this moment. And then I realize one of the children is missing. It happened so quietly that I almost didn't notice at first. 1 second, there was a small kid laughing or crying somewhere in the house. The next, there's just emptiness. No sound, no movement, just an emptiness that sinks into your bones. I blink and look around. It's as if the child just disappeared into thin air, vanished like a ghost slipping through a crack in reality. I remember the little girl named Lily. She was no older than 5. She liked to play in the playground outside, and she loved her teddy bear. But now Lily is gone. I call out her name softly, try not to sound worried, but my voice echoes back in the emptiness. Nothing, just a distant tap of the rain, the faint whisper of the house, and the strange creak of old wood. Lily! I whisper again, feeling my throat tighten. I walk slowly through the rooms, searching, calling her name softly. I look into the bathroom, the kitchen, the empty hallways, but she's nowhere to be seen. I notice that her little teddy bear is lying on the floor of the big playroom, just outside her small bed. It's right there, but Lily? She's just gone. My heart begins to pound harder. I don't know what to do. My mind races. Try to remember if I saw her last. Did she say she was going outside? Did she wander somewhere alone? Or is it something darker? Something I can't understand? I step outside into the courtyard. The rain has lessened, but the sky is still heavy with dark clouds. The yard is muddy and slick, with puddles reflecting the gloomy sky. It's quiet here, too, but I swear I can feel something watching me. My eyes scan every shadow and corner. Did she run here? Did she hide behind the big oak tree or the broken shed? No sign, only the muddy footprints leading away from the house. Small, tiny footprints. I follow those footprints, feeling the cold mud squish between my toes. They go in a little circle, leading toward the dark woods at the back of the orphanage. The woods look alive tonight, swaying in the wind, their branches reaching like claws. Every step I take closer to the trees makes the whisper in my mind grow louder. Find her before it's too late. I push my way into the woods, gently brushing aside hanging branches. The sound of rain drips through the leaves above, creating a gentle, constant drumming. The footprints are harder to see here. They're faint but still there, leading into the shadows. I follow them, trying to stay calm, but my stomach feels tight, like ice. The further I go, the darker it gets. The trees form a thick wall around me, blocking the moonlight and turning everything into a mixture of black and gray. Every rustle of the leaves makes me jump, and I feel my heart pounding faster. I tell myself to be brave, but inside, I'm worried that Lily's gone forever or worse. Suddenly, I spot something. A tiny doll lying on the ground among the leaves. It's dirty, with one I'm missing and the fabric torn. It looks like Lily's doll. I kneel down and pick it up carefully. As I hold it, I feel a strange chill in my hands, like the doll is alive in some way. The wind blows cold, and I hear a faint voice, almost like a whisper. within the noise of the rain and rustling leaves. Here, the voice seems to say, or maybe I'm just hearing my own thoughts, but I feel it. It's calling me, beckoning me to come closer. I clutch the doll tightly and move deeper into the woods. The trees seem to close behind me, trapping me in a cycle of dark shadows and strange whispers. Within moments, I feel a shiver run through my spine. The air smells different here, a sharp metallic scent mixed with the damp dirt. I think I hear the faint giggle of a child, far away and strange. My eyes strain to see, to find where that tiny laugh came from. It's soft and light, but there's a darkness beneath it. The feeling that the girl isn't far, but just slightly out of reach. And then I see it, a faint glow among the trees. It's not lightning, and it's not the moon. It's a soft, flickering light, like the flutter of a tiny candle flame. I walk toward it, cautious but pulled by an invisible string. Every step feels heavy, like the darkness itself is pulling me down. The flickering light grows brighter, and I realize it's coming from a small, abandoned shed. It's old, with its paint peeling and the door hanging askew on its hinges. I slowed down, scared but curious, as I approached the shed. My heartbeat pounds loudly in my ears. Inside, the glow is brighter, illuminating the dark interior like a tiny lantern. I peer inside and see a small, trembling shadow, like a child curled up in the corner. It's Lily. She looks up when she sees me, eyes wide with a mix of fear and relief. She's clutching her teddy bear tightly and trembling a little. Her little face is muddy, and her hair is wet from rain. I want to run to her, pick her up, and take her out of this dark nightmare. But something holds me back, a strange feeling that I shouldn't rush in. Lily looks at me with big, innocent eyes. "I was hiding," she whispers. "They took me, but I'm okay now." Her voice is soft and trembling, but it's real. She doesn't look scared anymore, just tired and confused. And I realize that whoever or whatever took her was gone, leaving her here, lost and alone in the dark. I kneel down and gently hug her. "Come on, Lily," I whisper softly. "Let's go back to the house." She nods, clutching her teddy bear, and I help her out of the shed into the cold, damp night. The woods seem darker now, heavier with secrets and shadows. But I won't let the darkness take her again. I promise. As we walk back toward the orphanage, I glance back one last time. The woods are still dark, and I feel that quiet, watchful presence. The whispers, the shadows, they're still there, watching us go, waiting. They know I found Lily, but they also know the truth, that sometimes children vanish because they're taken by the dark, and sometimes they're never seen again. Lily's small hand tightens around mine. She's safe for now, but I know, deep inside, that the darkness isn't finished. It's just resting, waiting for us to forget. But I won't forget. I will remember this night forever. Because tonight, I saw what lies beneath the shadows. Tonight, I learned that some secrets are better left hidden, but they always find a way to reveal themselves. And as I hold Lily close and make my way back to the rain-soaked yard, I realize that the orphanage, this dark, lonely house, still whispers, still waits, and still hides stories that the darkness will never let go. I walk back toward the orphanage with Lily in my arms. The rain has mostly stopped, but the dark clouds still hang heavy in the sky, and everything feels soaked in a shadowy gloom. The house looks even darker now, more still and silent than before. The windows reflect nothing but blackness, and the whole place seems to breathe quietly, waiting for what's next. We reach the front door, but I don't try to open it. Instead, my eyes catch something strange. Somewhere in the back corner of the house, behind the main building, I notice an old, creaking door I hadn't seen before. It's hidden, covered in overgrown vines and moss, almost like the house didn't want anyone to find it. The door is small, weathered, with rusted hinges and a handle that's broken but still hangs loosely. I step closer, Lily still clutching my neck. My heart pounds in my chest. I wonder, did I just miss this door earlier? Or was it here all along, hiding in the shadows? The door feels cold to the touch, even in the damp air. It's like it has a secret, like it's been waiting for me to find it. I hesitate, my fingers touching the rusty handle. It's loose but sturdy enough to pull open. As I brace myself and slowly push, The door creaks loudly, so loud that I almost want to cover my ears. Inside, there's a dark, narrow hallway, so dark I can't see where it leads. But I feel the air shift colder and more heavy than before. Something about this door makes everything seem even more mysterious, more dangerous. Lily looks at me with wide eyes. She's tired but curious now. She mumbles softly, "Where does it go?" I don't know. I really don't. But I know I have to see. I have to find out what's behind the door. It's like a piece of a puzzle that's been hiding in the shadows, waiting for me to turn the corner. "Let's go," I whisper, my voice trembling a little, not from fear but from that strange, sleepy feeling creeping in. I step inside, and the door swings shut behind me with a squeal. Darkness surrounds us, except for a faint flickering light coming from somewhere deep inside the hallway. It's like a tiny glowworm shining the night, faint and fragile but definitely there. I walk cautiously, trying not to make a sound. Each step feels heavier than the last, as if the house is pulling me in deeper. The hallway twists and turns, leading into parts of the old orphanage I've never seen before. Old paintings line the walls, faded and torn, their faces staring blankly into the darkness. Some are smiling, some are crying, and others are just cold and empty, like they're waiting for someone or something. I notice the floorboards creak beneath my feet, warning me to be careful. Every sound echoes like a thunderclap, bouncing down the long hallways. Lily clings to my neck, her small fingers clutching tightly. I want to reassure her, but my voice feels so quiet, just a whisper, as if the house is listening, too. Ahead, the faint glow gets brighter, leading us to a sealed door. It's heavy, carved with strange symbols that I don't recognize. The symbols look like twisted shapes, perhaps old or magic, etched into the wood. They seem to shimmer slightly in the flickering light, as if they're alive. I reach out and touch them gently. They feel cold and rough, but I swear I can feel a tiny hum, like a whisper just beneath the surface of the carvings. It's as if the door itself is singing a song only the house understands. I try to push it open, but it won't budge. It's locked, or maybe just waiting for someone to unlock it. Lily looks up at me with big, innocent eyes. "What's inside?" she asks softly. I shake my head. I really don't know anymore. I just know that whatever is behind this door is important. I look around for a key, but find nothing. Instead, I notice a small, old latch, hidden beneath a layer of dust and cobwebs. I pry it open carefully, feeling the cold metal against my fingers. When I lift the latch, I hear a faint click, almost like the house is sighing in relief. I push gently, and the door swings open with a slow, whispering creak, revealing a space that feels even colder than before. The little flickering light I saw from outside now seems to come from a small, flickering candle or a tiny lantern, something fragile that struggles to stay alive in the shadows. I squeeze through the narrow opening, my heart pounding a little louder, and Lily still clinging to me tightly. The room beyond is small, but it's filled with strange things. Things that look like they've been left here a long time ago and forgotten. Silent toys, cracked glass jars, old letters with faded writing, and pictures torn in half. All these things are arranged in a way that makes no sense, like a puzzle with missing pieces. The air smells damp and musty, mixed with something strange, like old flowers and burnt wood. A faint, strange hum fills the room, as if the house itself is breathing softly, waiting for someone to listen. I walk in slowly, feeling the cold floor beneath my feet. The flickering light makes everything look weird, like a dream or a nightmare. Shadows seem to breathe and move as I step closer. I notice a small, cracked mirror hanging on the wall. Its surface is cloudy, but I see my reflection warping in the glass, my face looking tired, stretched, and strange. I stare into it, feeling a little dizzy. Lily's eyes dart around, wide and curious. She points to a corner where I see something that makes my stomach tighten. It's a tiny old box covered in dust. Its latch is rusty, but when I open it, I see something inside, something small but strange. A beautiful little toy doll, carved from wood, with tiny painted eyes and a crooked smile. But it's not just a toy. There's something about it that feels different, more alive, more watchful. As I hold the doll, I sense a chill run through my fingers, like the toy is sending a message through my skin. The silence in the room grows heavier, thick with unseen stories. Lily starts to tremble a little, clutching her teddy bear closer. Suddenly, I hear a faint whisper, like someone softly calling my name. I freeze, listening. The whisper echoes in the small space, like a tiny breeze whispering in my ear. It's not loud, but it's enough to make the hair on my arm stand up. I look around, trying to find its source. The room stays quiet again, but I know I heard it. That whispering voice was real. The house seems to be alive, like it has its own heartbeat. I can feel it in my bones. It's waiting, watching, listening. I look at the strange objects and ask myself, who left this behind? Why is this room filled with such strange things? Did a child once hide here? Did they whisper stories just like I'm listening to now? I walk toward the door that leads deeper into the house. It's old and wooden, with strange carvings around its frame. More symbols, like the ones we saw earlier. I reach for the handle, which feels cold and solid. I tame my nerves and turn it slowly, feeling the latch click as the door begins to open. Behind this door, the darkness is even thicker. I can't see much, only faint shapes and shadows. The only light comes from a small crack at the bottom of the door, a faint glow that flickers like a heartbeat. I step inside. The room beyond is bigger, almost like a secret chamber. The air is thick and damp, and the shadows seem to stretch on forever. In the corner, I see a mass of tangled ropes and broken chairs. Everything looks old and forgotten, covered in dust and cobwebs. But there's something strange about this room, something that makes my skin crawl. On one side, there's a tall, old wardrobe, its paint peeling and the door hanging open. Inside, I see more toys, tiny dolls with cracked faces, old clothes, and paper scraps. As I stare, I notice something moving in the corner of my eye, a slight shimmer, like a tiny breath of wind. I turn quickly, but nothing's there, just shadows and silence. In the middle of the room, there's a strange, faint glow, a soft blue light that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. It flickers softly, casting a ghostly hue over everything. The glow makes me feel sleepy, almost like I'm drifting into a nightmare. I step closer to the faint blue glow, feeling my eyes relax and my breathing slow. The room around me feels heavy, like the house itself is holding its breath. The strange light flickers gently, casting shadows that dance along the walls, long, twisting shapes that seem to move whenever I blink or turn my head. I kneel down carefully, trying not to make a noise. The glow is coming from a small, old box at the center of the room. Its surface is covered in strange symbols, carved deep into the wood. The symbols look almost alive, shimmering faintly as if they're whispering secrets only the house can understand. I reach toward the box, feeling a mixture of curiosity and fear. My fingers tingle as I touch the carvings. There's a strange warmth, like the box is awake and waiting. I open the lid slowly. Inside, I see an object, the heart of the darkness itself. A small, shining crystal glowing with a soft, blue light. It's smooth like glass, but it feels different, more real, more alive. The light pulses gently, as if it's breathing. Lily shuffles closer, her eyes wide with wonder. "What is that?" she whispers softly, pointing at the crystal. "I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't touch it, like it's dangerous or special." I reach out and gently lift the crystal from the box. The moment I do, the room brightened a little, not with a blue glow, but with an overwhelming warmth that spreads through every part of my body. Suddenly, the air fills with whispers, soft, gentle, almost like a lullaby. Words I can't understand, but feel deep in my soul. The whispers seem to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, swirling around us in a dance of shadows and light. The house is alive with stories, 1,000 memories pressing against the walls, waiting to be told. Lily clings even tighter to my hand. "What's happening?" she asks, her voice trembling. I don't know what to answer. All I know is that this little crystal is more than just a shiny object. It's a key, perhaps the key to what makes a house alive. Something old and deep that's been sleeping all these years. As I hold it, I feel a strange power, like the house itself is talking through me. The whispers turn into faint voices, calling out from the darkness. Come closer. Remember. Wake up. Their tone is calm but full of longing, as if they're trying to wake something that has been sleeping forever. Outside, the storm has passed. The rain has gone, and the night feels even quieter now. The house is still and calm, almost too calm. But here inside, the whispers keep going, getting louder and clearer. I realize I found something important. Something that might explain why the house is so full of secrets. That tiny crystal contains a piece of the house's own soul, its heartbeat, its memory, its essence. And I hold it carefully, knowing that once I take this step, nothing will ever be the same again. The whispers turn into a clear voice, soft and warm like a lullaby, one I almost recognize. It sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it. The voice says, remember who you are, remember what you saw. The darkness sleeps but never dies. Its words hang in the air, like a promise and a warning all at once. Lily looks up at me, her face gentle but serious. What do we do now? Will the darkness come back? I don't answer right away. I'm too busy feeling the power of the crystal, the house, and the whispers. I only know that this is just the beginning. A doorway into stories and secrets that no one else has dared to see. I place the crystal back into the box, closing the lid softly. Instantly, the room darkens again, the glow fading to nothing. The whispers hush, retreating into the shadows once more. The house breathes out gently, almost like it sighs with relief. At that moment, I realize I have a choice. I can keep the crystal, or I can leave it here, hidden and safe. But I know, deep inside, that I won't forget. I will carry this place and what I've seen inside me forever. Lily tugs at my hand. Can we go now? She asks softly. I nod, feeling tired but somehow lighter. Lily and I step out of the mysterious room, leaving behind the glowing box and the whispers of the dark house. The corridor feels colder now, as if breathing out a last sigh of relief. The faint flickering light has disappeared, swallowed by the shadows. But the house still hums softly, as if it's alive and watching us go. We move slowly through the winding hallways, each step echoing softly against the wooden floorboards. The house is quiet again, yet somehow it still seems full of stories, waiting patiently for someone to listen. The air feels heavy, full of memories, secrets, and unseen eyes. Outside, the sky is clearing and a faint streak of moonlight begins to peek through the clouds. Lily clings to my hand, her small fingers warm and steady. She seems calmer now, more curious and afraid. Will the house remember us? She asks softly, her voice like a tiny breeze. I pause and look at her. I don't know how to answer, only that I'll always remember this night. Every whisper, every shadow, every secret. We walk toward the front door, which is shut tight again, as if the house itself is sleeping now. I gently push it open and a cool breeze slips inside, carrying the scent of rain and earth. The outside world feels different, lighter somehow, brighter beneath the starry sky. The heavy clouds have moved on, leaving behind a calm, quiet night. As we step into the yard, I glance back at the orphanage. It looks lonely and dark, but I feel no fear. Instead, I feel a strange warmth, like a tiny flame flickering inside my chest, telling me I've done something important. I've touched something deep and real, and I know I'll carry it with me forever. Lily's face brightens as she points to the sky. Look, she whispers excitedly. Up above, the stars are shining brightly now, blinking softly like tiny eyes watching over us. The moon hangs high and full, casting silver light across the yard and the old house. The storm has passed, leaving only quiet darkness. We walk down the path, away from the house, toward the familiar woods and fields. The wind is gentle now, whispering softly. Every step we take is lighter, like we're leaving behind a burden and stepping into something new, something brighter. The night feels peaceful, but I know that the darkness is always sleeping, waiting for the right moment to wake again. As we reach the edge of the woods, Lily looks up at me and whispers, "Do you think the house will remember us?" I smile softly, feeling my heart full. I think it already did. I say, and I think it's happy we came to visit. She nods happily, clutching her teddy bear tighter, feeling safe. The stars shine brighter as we walk away, the sounds of the night calm and soothing. The house's whispers are gone, replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant call of night creatures. Everything feels quiet now, so quiet you can almost hear your own heartbeat. We reach the safety of the trees, and I pause for a moment, looking back one last time. The old orphanage stands silent, like a sleeping giant hiding stories beneath its walls. I know that someday, someone else might find this place and hear its whispers again. Or maybe it will sleep forever, waiting patiently for the next visitor who dares to listen. Lily yawns and snuggles her teddy bear, and I carry her gently as we step into the fields beyond the woods. The night air is cool and calm, and the sky is clear. The moon's gentle glow guides us home, lighting a quiet path through the darkness. And as we walk away, I feel something deep inside, something I can't quite explain. It's a feeling of peace and wonder, mixed with the faintest trace of sadness. Because I know that some places, some stories, can never truly be forgotten. They sleep beneath the surface of things, waiting for the right moment to wake again. But tonight, everything is still, and all the shadows, whispers, and secrets have receded into the darkness, waiting patiently for the next night, and the next story to be told. The first light of dawn gently filters through the trees and spills across the fields. The sky is painted with soft oranges and pinks, fading slowly into the pale blue of morning. Birds begin to chirp softly, their songs drifting on the gentle breeze. It's a peaceful scene, quiet and still, as if the world has taken a deep breath after the stormy night. Lily and I wake up in a small cottage near the edge of the woods. The bed is soft, and the sunlight feels warm on my face. I sit up slowly, feeling a strange mixture of tiredness and relief. Last night's darkness is still fresh in my mind. The whispers, the shadowed house, the glowing crystal, and Lily's safe return. It all feels like part of a distant dream, but I know deep down it was real. Lily yawns and rubs her eyes, blinking at the bright morning. "Did it really happen?" she asks softly, her voice barely above a whisper. I smile and nod. "Yes, it did," I reply, and I think the house remembers us now. I think it's glad we came. We get out of bed and walk outside together, feeling the cool grass under our feet. The world seems different in the light of day, less threatening, more open. The shadows from the night have disappeared, replaced by the gentle glow of sunlight and the soft hum of life waking up. The clouds have cleared away, leaving behind a clear sky full of bright, shining stars. We walk to the nearby stream, where the water flows quietly over smooth stones. Lily kneels down and dips her fingers into the cold, clear water, splashing it gently onto her face. She looks up at me with a big smile. "Yesterday feels like a dream," she says, giggling softly. But I know it wasn't. I remember everything. The house, the whispers, the crystal. I sit beside her, watching the water ripple and sparkle in the sunlight. "Me too," I whisper, "and I think we'll carry this story forever, inside us, in our hearts. It's a secret no one can take away." As we sit in silence, I notice something strange. Faint footprints in the mud near the stream. Small, delicate, almost like footprints made by a child or a tiny creature. I lean closer, picking one up carefully. It's too faint to see clearly, but I feel its shape with my fingers. It seems to glow faintly, almost like the footprints are made of the same mysterious light as the crystal from last night. I wonder, are these footprints real or just a trick of the morning light? I look around, and the footprints seem to lead toward the woods. Without thinking, I stand up and follow them, Lily right behind me. We walk quietly through the trees, the fresh air filling our lungs. The footprints vanish into the shadows, leading deep into the woods and right to the spot where I found the house's secret door. There at the edge of the trees, I see something new, something that wasn't there before. A small, shining stone lies on the ground, glittering in the morning sun. It's exactly the same as the crystal I held last night, smooth and glowing with a gentle blue light. I pick it up carefully, feeling its warmth in my hand. Lily looks at me and softly says, "Maybe the house left us a gift." I nod, feeling a strange calmness. It's as if the house has given us a small piece of its magic, a reminder that some stories never really end. Some secrets stay hidden deep inside, waiting quietly for the right moment to come to life again. We walk back toward the cottage, feeling the bright sun on our skin and the gentle breeze in our hair. Our hearts are full of wonder and memories. Yesterday's darkness has given way to today's light, and I know that whatever tomorrow brings, I will always remember this night, when shadows whispered, secrets were revealed, and the house itself seemed to breathe. Later, when the day wears on, I sit outside on the porch, watching the world turn slowly and peacefully. The sun climbs higher, casting long, soft shadows. The birds sing melodies that seem to carry all the stories of the night. The whispers, the storm, the house, and the children who played inside. Everything feels calm, safe, and just a little bit magical. And in my mind, I carry the memory of the house, the shadows, the whispers, and Lily's brave smile. The days pass slowly after that night. The peaceful countryside feels quiet and gentle, like a lullaby softly sung by the wind. Life continues, but inside me, something has changed. I carry the memory of the house, the shadows, and the whispers deep in my heart. Sometimes I think about the tiny crystal, the mysterious door, and the dark rooms. I wonder if I'll ever find out what they truly mean. Lily is happy and brave. She often talks about the house, about shadows that dance and whispers that sing in the dark. She says she can still hear the faint lullaby, the soft voice telling her to remember and stay brave. Sometimes I hear her humming it quietly, as if the house's lullaby is part of her own. One morning, we walk again toward the stream, feeling that same quiet magic in the air. The water flows softly over the stones, reflecting the bright sky and the fluffy clouds. Lily skips stones while I sit nearby, watching her with a gentle smile. Suddenly, she looks up and points at the sky, her eyes shining. "Look," she says softly. Up above, a flock of birds flies across the blue, their wings beating in rhythm with the quiet song of the world. The birds seem peaceful, like they carry stories of faraway places. Stories of shadows and dawns and nights full of whispers. I take a deep breath, feeling the warm sun on my face. I close my eyes for a moment and listen. I hear only the soft sounds of nature. Leaves rustling, water flowing, and the faint whisper of the wind. But underneath it all, I feel something else. A memory, a story that's waiting to be told. It's strange how a single night can change everything. How the shadows can hide secrets that are bigger than you think. How a tiny crystal can hold a universe of dreams, silent, glowing, mysterious. I wonder if the house still remembers us. If the shadows still whisper softly in the dark, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. That's when I notice something different. Somewhere in the distance, near the edge of the woods, I see a faint shimmer, a flicker of light that seems to dance in the sunlight. I stare at it carefully, feeling my heart beat a little faster. It's small, almost like a star falling to the earth, or a tiny spark of magic that refuses to fade. What is it? My feet move before I even think. Lily follows close behind, her curious eyes watching me. We walk slowly toward the shimmering light, feeling the quiet mystery growing stronger with each step. As we draw near, I see there's a small, smooth stone, glittering like the crystal I found inside the house. It's different from ordinary stones, glowing faintly with that same gentle blue light, as if it's alive in its own quiet way. I bend down and pick it up carefully. It feels warm and matched perfectly in my hand. Lily reaches out and touches it, her fingers trembling softly. "It's like a gift," she says softly, her face full of wonder. I nod, feeling that strange sense of connection, the feeling that this simple stone is part of the story, part of the secret that the house kept hidden. Maybe the house left us this gift, I think, a reminder that shadows and whispers are always around, hidden in every corner of our world. But they are not just darkness. They are stories waiting to be told, memories waiting to be remembered. We walk back toward the cottage, feeling lighter inside. The sun climbs higher in the sky, casting warm rays over the fields and trees. The world is full of quiet beauty, simple, peaceful, and full of stories that we aren't quite ready to understand yet. That afternoon, Lily and I sit outside, watching the clouds drift lazily across the sky. The breeze feels soft and calming, carried with the faintest scent of rain. As I trace circles in the dirt with my finger, I think about the house, about what lay behind its shadowed walls, about the whispers that still echo in my mind. Sometimes I wonder if I should go back, if I should try to open a hidden door again, or listen more carefully to the shadows. But I know one thing. Some stories are better left in the darkness, waiting patiently, until the right moment to wake again. Some secrets are too deep, too fragile, to rush into. All I can do now is remember the shadows and whispers, the tiny crystal. The house is silent.